Why is K-pop stealing black culture? So the K-pop landscape has been ever growing with a massive 90 billion on-demand streams with 42% of growth every single year. And when it comes to like tracks like Gangnam Style, which came out in 2012, hitting 1 billion in 149 days, and even Dynamite from BTS hitting 100 million in 24 hours. You also got Rose and Bruno Mars with Appropriation. The track was hit almost 2 billion in the next 105 days upcoming. So what's the sort of secret sauce what's making all these K-pop idols so captivating? Is it the beauty standards? The choreography? Or is it just the love of Korean culture? In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the impact that the K-pop industry has done on the West, and also, of course, in Korea, and how black culture has influenced and affected the K-pop landscape. So if you guys like the video, please send me a like. I'm a small content creator and I want to rival the titans of YouTube. Let's go. The discovery. As someone who's been listening to K-pop since I was like 15 years old, I'm very aware of K-pop and of course its culture. My ears have been blessed by listening to Boa, 4 Minute, Girl Generation, 21. All these amazing artists have one thing in common, and they all contribute their success to American hip-hop, R&B, and also soul.
How did we get from the traditional Korean popular music to this phenomenon?
But what does this mean to the black community? It portrays that it's culturally been appropriated in terms of stealing aspects of our tonality, lingo, and lastly, just not accrediting the original source. And don't get me wrong, I'm tapped in when it comes to American hip hop and rap because I'm always bouncing between the two. Like, you should look at my Spotify Wrapped. But why am I constantly always seeing that there's a sort of cultural trend between the two? When it comes to fashion statements, lingo, it's all repurposed and created new, but it just seems like they want to stray away from showcasing that it's from black culture.
The reason why it's so hard for people to accept that K-pop has its roots in black American culture is that they look down on black Americans. If someone were to say that K-pop took from the Backstreet Boys or from Britney Spears, I can almost guarantee you that they would not be facing the same amount of intense backlash that this creator is getting. And that's because there's no inherent sense of negativity or devaluation of things that come from white people or white Americans. But bring up black kids that grew up in the inner city like New Edition and TLC, who inspired both those white artists and K-pop, and the conversation goes down very differently. Because black people and our cultures are very much looked down upon, especially on a global stage. So any association between blackness and K-pop feels more like an attack rather than a historical explanation of the art form.
And that's the thing with the K-pop community, because they're very backhanded when it comes to certain things that they want to discuss about. When it comes to scandals, when it comes, for example, like Jennie apologizing for vaping, and even when it comes to dating scandals and all these sort of topics going around in the K-pop industry. Yes, that can be more of a political thing with the labels, but the accountability is kind of there, and there is a sort of statement. But at the same time, they don't want to admit that the sort of way they think in terms of doing their sort of music and the way how they get their sort of inspiration is through black culture. A great analogy, it's like trying to steal the recipe of bibimbap. And bibimbap is basically like a Korean fried rice. But imagine if you stole the recipe of bibimbap, not mentioning it's Korean, pretending that you cooked it, your customers thinking that the dish is made by black people.
Cultural appropriation is when you take from a culture, take everything good, everything cool, everything you admire about a culture, but you don't take the people. See, the problem is we think that loving the culture or loving the music is enough for admiration. And that's the problem, okay? That's the problem. It's kind of like, I admire this. This could be marketable. This could be profitable. But not asking questions like, who made this? How do we highlight and celebrate the person behind what we admire? What is the history? What is the struggle behind the things that I love? And a lot of people say the line for cultural appropriation and appreciation is very thin. I don't think so. And in fact, if the line is very thin, then it's our job to be even more careful.
I feel like me and even other people who love the sort of K-pop community, we just want recognition. Simple as that. And that doesn't mean that you need to kind of submit, oh, the sole reason why you're good is because of black influence. That's not what we're saying. Yes, we know we start trends. We know that, you know, this is an inspiration to you guys, but it's not that deep to say that, oh, you're influenced by us. Like, what's the problem of just saying that? And I feel like it could be a number of political reasons why, in terms of the label, when it comes to, when they think of sort of black culture, when they think of American hip hop, they think of this sort of gang life or etc. But that doesn't make sense, because music is a form of art. And sometimes when it comes to us talking about our life stories and our backgrounds, the way how we talk about our life, the way how we talk about our sort of aspirations and our struggles, our loved ones, when we do it in the form of music, it speaks to the soul. And I feel like, and I can confidently say, that's the reason why the sort of rap and the sort of R&B and soul is so big in the world. But yeah, if you repurpose it with a cute girl, with a catchy hook and a rap chorus, it's shaking the industry.
I am a songwriter. As many of you know, I've been writing music for about 15 years. When I first got signed to Universal back in 2000 and what year was that? 2012. One of my asks was to go to Seoul, Korea. So I went to Korea for 2 weeks, and I was excited as a young blossoming songwriter to just go and use my talents on the label, not understanding really what K-pop was. Because back then, at that time, K-pop hadn't really infiltrated America in the way it has now. Making music every day, every session was with all black people. Black people from LA, New York, Detroit, Miami, Atlanta, all flown to Korea to recreate black music. And I mean that in the truest sense. The producers were black, the songwriters were black, the instrumentalists were black. They had me and a couple of other songwriters who wrote like R&B and pop, and then they had rappers to create raps for the people to actually rap.
So what do you guys think about the current landscape? The world is getting more connected, and I feel like people are opening up when it comes to the cultural media. But at the same time, we still got this political root that's still deep into the sort of big tech industry when it comes to black influence. But if you like the video, guys, please hit me a like, and please tell me the origin story on how you got into K-pop. But if you're black, white, Asian, all walks of life, you know, when it comes to K-pop, we're all trying to like kind of come together and enjoy this sort of media. But at the same time, let's shine light on what fueled the passions of these brilliant artists, black culture.